Here is another question from quiz 1, functions characteristics. The table below lists all the ordered pairs that belong to the function f of x and g of x. So we're given the x values and corresponding f of x and g of x values. Determine f3. For what value of x is g of x equals to 6? Determine f of g of 3. When is f of x greater than g of x? So this question will give you a good review on function notations and its characteristics. I'd like you to pause the video, answer these questions, and then check with my solution. The first question is, determine f of 3. f of 3 really means the value of function f when x is equal to 3. So when x equals to 3, f of 3 will be 5, right? So this value is equal to 5. The second one is, for what value of x is g of x equals to 6? So we are given the value of g of x as 6, right? So we have to find the value of x. G of x, look at g of x equals to 6. We have g of x equals to 6 at 2 places. And so we have two different x values. One of them is -1, right? And the other one is 3. So we have two answers for this, that x is equals to -1 or it could be 3. So these are the solutions for g of x equals to 6. Now next question is, determine f of g of 3. So it is a function of function. So we are saying f of g of 3. So basically you could write f of, find what is g of 3. g of 3 means value of g of x when x is 3. So when x is 3, g of x is 6. So we get f of 6 here. Do you see that? Because g of 3 is 6. Now f of 6 is what? Value of f of x when x is 6. So that gives our answer. Is it okay? So first we found g of 3 is 6, and then from 6 we get 11. So we get 11 as our answer. I hope it makes absolutely clear how we should be doing these types of questions. Now we have, when is f of x greater than g of x? So that is f of x. So we need to find the values wherever f of x is greater than g of x. Now these are less, f of x is lesser, f of x is lesser. But here onwards, 7, 9 and 11, you can see value of f of x is more than that of g of x. So we can write this as x values whenever f of x is greater than g of x are 4, 5 and 6. So the domain for that is 4, 5 and 6. So for x equals to 4, 5 and 6, f of x is greater than g of x. So that is how we can answer this question. As an added exercise, you can actually define functions f of x and g of x. And remember, when you define these functions, their domain is within x equals to -1 to 6, where x belongs to integers. So that is how you should be defining your relation, right? So that's an added exercise, and let me add here a question for you. Define f of x and g of x, right? So as I was saying, remember that you have to include domain as, domain should be, you should write domain as, you could write x is equals to these values, or you can say x belongs to integers where x is greater than equal to -1 and less than equal to 6, right? So these are the x values for which your function f of x and g of x are defined. So remember that part when you do this question. That's kind of an important question for you to practice. Thank you and all the best.